Hi everybody, this is Jamieson again. Hey, today I want to talk about average rate of return on your money. This is one of the biggest myths in the whole financial world. And a lot of times when you're putting away money somewhere, almost always the advisors are going to talk about your average rate of return. Seems simple enough, but average rate of return is not compound rate of return. So let me give you a very simple example with some numbers that anybody can do. And you're going to start to realize that, hey, average rate of return is not compound rate of return. Okay, so let's just say I was a hotshot money manager and I said, hey, give me your $100,000 to invest and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to average you a 25% rate of return over the next 4 years. And I make a compelling case for that and you say, okay, Johnny, here's my money. Go invest it for me. And we do that. So remember, we started off year one with $100,000. Okay, now let's say I invest it and we put it into the market, and that particular year, the market skyrockets and it doubles. So in other words, your money goes up 100%, and now you have $200,000. And all of a sudden, I'm on your Christmas card list. You're referring people to me. I'm the greatest thing ever. But then the market does what it does. And the following year, in year two, it loses 50%. So the market goes down now 50%. And you're back to $100,000. And all of a sudden, I'm off the Christmas card list. You're calling me, hey, John, what should I do? I don't like what I'm seeing. And I give you standard advice of, hey, ride out the tough times. Market's going to bounce back. Might be a good time to buy more, but maybe you don't have any money, so you can't buy anymore. And your $100,000 is what you have. But the next year, market doubles again. Now, by the way, I'm giving you market doubling, losing 50%. Folks, that's not going to happen typically in any 4-year period. But I want to keep it simple just for the math, right? So in year three, market goes up again, 100%. And you're back to 200,000. I'm back on the Christmas card list. Everything's great. But now in year four, the market adjusts, as it always does, and it drops 50%. And you're back to $100,000, which is where you started. Now let me point one thing out. First of all, did you notice that for your money to double, you have to get 100% on the money? But to get back to where you were, you only have to lose 50%. Interesting. Just think about it for a minute. Now, at the end of 4 years, you call me and you're like, hey, I want to come in and talk to you. Certain promises were made, and I want to discuss them with you. I'm like, fine, come in the office. So you come in and you sit down and you look at your notes from 4 years ago, and you say, John, you promised you could average me a 25% rate of return. I gave you $100,000. Today I only have $100,000, which, by the way, if these numbers were correct, would you even have the $100,000? No way, because did I do all this for free? Was there fees and commissions and things you had to pay? You wouldn't have close to $100,000 after 4 years if you even broke even on the money. But for this example, you did. And you come in and you're like, John, you no good, rotten, blankety blank, you promised me this. And I look at you in the eye and I say, I promised you I would average you a 25% rate of return over 4 years. That's exactly what we did. Think of it, folks. You add the 100% years, subtract out the 50% years, divide that by 4, and guess what you get? You get a 25% average rate of return, and yet you have less money in real dollars than you did 4 years ago. Because time value of money, even just a little bit of inflation. And so really, realistically, maybe you have $93,000, $94,000 left. And yet, I averaged you a 25% rate of return. When I told you I was going to average you that return, you internally said, compound rate of return, which means we're going to start off with 100,000, and it's not going to do this to get an average. We're going to start here with the 100K, and it's just going to go up for 4 years. And you'd have a bunch more money. In fact, 25% a year, you'd have a whole bunch more money, right? So, was I wrong? No, you just didn't understand how the game was played. This is an average rate of return. So you can clearly see that you can have, on paper, a really big average rate of return, but in dollars and cents, you didn't make any money, and sometimes you even lost money. Because average rate of return is not compounding of money. We would like our money to compound. We would like to do it on a tax-free basis. We would like to have no risk. We would like to have the ability to use the money. And all of that stuff exists, guys. In fact, I would like to invite you to a free mini course. It's right now a series of 11 videos. We might be adding to it, so you never know when you get there, depending on when you're looking at this. But it's a series of 11 videos that's going to walk you through the power of investment-grade life insurance. That's a term you might not be familiar with, but you need to get familiar with it. And we'll walk you through it step by step. We're one of the top experts in the country on how those things work. We're going to show you about volume and velocity of money, how banks have been making money on us for centuries. We're going to share all of that with you if you go to perpetualinsurance.com. www.perpetual, P-E-R-P-E-T-U-A-L, Perpetual Insurance, I-N-S-U-R-A-N-C-E, perpetualinsurance.com. Go there, register, watch the videos in sequence. There's no charge for this. And then once you watch all those, you think we can help you, and you're tired of riding this average rate of return and feel like, yeah, it says I'm getting a rate of return, but I'm not going anywhere. So if you're tired of that and are looking for something different, it's the best video you ever stumbled across, but go to the next step and get some further education at perpetualinsurance.com. Again, John Jamieson, guys, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon.